Hi guys, this is Fatty again. This is episode 5, and today we're going to be talking about the clients I had while running an escort service in Las Vegas, Nevada. So, predominantly, I always targeted professional clients that were a little bit older. I liked clients that are between 40 upward on 60, 65, sometimes 70, not too many. And they were professionals. They come into town for business, mostly conventions, depending on whatever business they're in. There's always a convention going on, 4, 5, 6, sometimes 7 days a week in Las Vegas. It's an amazing destination for conventions, and business people love it. Reason being is most of them are married, and coming to Las Vegas gives them an opportunity to take care of business, have some fun with their colleagues or business friends, and do a little bit of gambling, maybe see a show, maybe see a band, and then of course call an agency like the one I had to set an appointment with one of the escorts. Most of my clients were either white or Asians. We had some ethnic groups, not too many, but that was the predominantly who can afford $500 to $1,000, sometimes $2,000 an hour. Particularly in Las Vegas, it's a great market for this business because of what I just mentioned, and also you could charge a lot more because Las Vegas has a certain vibe and energy about it. Unlike any other place on earth, people coming to Las Vegas expect to spend a certain amount of money. I'm pretty sure when you've gone to Las Vegas, you had a budget, it was a 5,000, 10,000, whatever, and you said, I'm going to go to Vegas, I'm going to have fun, it doesn't matter how much it costs, I'm going to blow this money. And you already have that mindset on spending, whatever your budget is. And because of that, and because of Las Vegas doing a really good job on their marketing campaign and what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and you see all the commercials on TV, it's created a great environment for our business. It is a well-known misconception that sex is legal in Las Vegas, which is not true. Sex for money, that is. They have an intent law. I think I mentioned it before, so it's a little bit easier to bust someone in Las Vegas than it is, say, in California here or other states. But that being said, again, going back to the Las Vegas image, it's such that people actually think they can come to Las Vegas, call a girl, and it's completely legal, which is not true. Okay, so just buyer beware. I would get calls, usually about 10 or 20% of the clients like to pre-book in advance, and those are the real professional busy guys that wanted everything set, that kind of person. So they would call or email, a month, sometimes 2 in advance. And to be honest with you, we didn't really give them too much time because there's been a lot of situations where they just wanted interaction and it never comes to fruition. We had wasted this whole time emailing back and forth and catering to them and stuff. So, time is money. So for the most part, the professional knows what time they're coming, what date, what night he wants to go with what girl. And I would have clients that would call or email and book a girl for day 1, another girl for day 2, and a third girl for day 3, not knowing they're all working for the same agency, which we have an advantage of. So we already know that this guy is good because he already booked for one girl. So it goes along with the screening and all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes that nobody else sees, just like any other business. So they would book an appointment, but the majority of them waited till they got to Las Vegas and booked an appointment because a lot of them, they were just doing it as they go. They don't know exactly what time they're going to have an opportunity to get away from their friends and go up to their suite or room and then call the girl. So they just usually waited, most of them, to the day before or the day of. And they called, and we had a screening system that I taught all the phone girls. In Las Vegas, I had over 220 girls and 33 phone girls total who were open 7 days a week, 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. We rarely ever got calls before 5, but of course there was always somebody answering the phone 24/7, regardless. 99% of the calls, if not 99.7 or 8, pretty much all of them were out call, meaning the girls went to the client's room, and we barely ever had any in calls because they all had rooms when they came to Vegas, and none of them were from Las Vegas. So, and we'll get the call, we'll screen them, we'll make sure we know who we're talking to, and it's very easy to screen in Las Vegas because everybody registers in the hotel, and you can do a background check on them, make sure that they are the person who they say they are. There's a lot of ways that we can do that. I won't get into the screening today, but I will in future videos. And we booked them, and we made sure that the girls that were on for that night, usually we had anywhere from 50 to 75 girls on every night, and they were all on call. If they had a pre-booked appointment, we let them know their schedule. And we did have an office at one point when I had an out-call promoter license. And it's basically a girl can go to the room and dance or whatever, and that's about it. And so we had an office, and usually some of them would come and hang out there, but most of them were really busy. So they will just go straight to their calls, and by the time they're done at 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, whatever it was, 4 a.m. some of them, then they would come and drop off their the 40% or 50% depending on each girl. They either kept 50 and gave us 50 for agency fee, or they kept 60 and gave us 40 depending on the girl and her credits and the deal I made with her. They made really good money. Most of them made in Vegas anywhere from 50 to about 70,000, working 3 or 4 days a week. And yeah, and also some of them worked 5 days a week, and those made about between 80 and 100,000 a month. For the most part, they made between 50 and 60,000 a month, working 2 or 3 days a week. We never had really that many problems because they're all in their room, so they're registered in their room. They're all professionals. They're all married, so we hardly ever had any problems. I had a few billionaires, a few celebrities, of course, and it's really, the celebrities are a little bit tricky to book and screen because the person handling their affairs, usually their assistant or manager or whoever, they don't want to really tell you who the celebrity is. So it's like a cat and mouse game where I don't really care who they are. I am not going to trust anyone behind closed doors with one of my escorts unless I am pretty sure that they're safe. I don't care if they're celebrities or not. That doesn't mean anything to me. They're still humans. They're still men. And as we know in recent years, what happened with Bill Cosby and Harvey Weinstein, all these guys, just because they're celebrities, it doesn't mean they're good guys. So I would not book anyone unless I know who it is. And I've actually declined to book certain celebrities, and for many reasons. So my favorites were really businessmen, just coming into town to have a good time and leave. No problem. Like I said, I didn't have that many issues. I remember one time, this is also in my book, Madam Suzanne, that you can find on Amazon. One time we had a repeat client with one of the girls, and they were supposed to go, and it was at the Mandalay Bay or the Venetian. I think it was at the Mandalay Bay, and they were to go to a restaurant, 5-star restaurant, go see a concert, It's the Moody Blues, I think. And then do a little gambling, and then go up to the room for some private time, and then that'll be it. Well, this is the second time that he's seen the same escort. So we have a golden rule, what I call a golden rule, which means you always get your money up front. The reason being is you never want, it's a control thing, and you never want a client to feel that he is in control, that you're on his beck and call by him keeping the donation or the fee until the end. Then he can dictate whatever, and then he has the, he has a full control of the situation, because he has the money, he has control. So I've always made it a rule, and a lot of girls, even not working for me, they have the same rule, which is very smart. The time that you don't get your money up front is more than likely is the time that you're going to get screwed. So that being said, we had a system, and I'll go over that in some later videos. And we got a call we got a text from the girl that they met at valet. I always told you why we meet at valet this way, that nobody can mess with the girls if they are with a registered guest, arm in arm. And as soon as she got her donation, when they sat at the table at the restaurant, she sends a text that she got the money. We had a certain code. And they went about their business, and I told them to check in. In this case, it was a 6 to 2, 3, or 4 a.m., 6 p.m. to 2 or 3, 4 a.m. Booking. It was an all evening. It was for $3,000. And I always told the girls to, make sure you check in every couple of hours, just to let us know you're okay. And we had codes for those two to make sure she is the one on that particular phone, that not somebody drugged her or slipped her a Mickey or a roofie or whatever, and then somebody else is controlling her phone. So we had certain codes, so we know that it's actually her. Anyways, so long story short, they went to dinner, went to the show, and the guy's getting drunk and getting belligerent, and she's telling me this guy's getting drunk and getting belligerent when she's checking in. And then all of a sudden at midnight, she said she wanted to talk to me. So the phone girl dispatched the phone call to me, and I found out that the guy's getting drunk, getting belligerent, but also that he has not given her the donation yet. So I asked the escort, well, why did you say that you got the donation? She goes, well, I didn't think there was a problem because this is our second date, and he was such a nice gentleman the first date, so I didn't think there was going to be any issues. I said, well, do you remember the golden rule? Yes, I do. What is it? Get your money up front. You see why? Okay. Now, I want you to be really nice to him and try to get him to go upstairs and get your donation. Do not do anything sexual with the guy at all. Of course, be nice, be cordial. You can, feel up on him. You could just make him feel really good, okay? Because what you did by not getting the donation up front is you put him in a control position. So now you have to be really nice to him. Otherwise, he can tell you, go screw yourself. Then what? So fast forward to about 4 a.m. Now I got a call from her. I think it was a text first that he wants her to stay till 6 or 8 or whatever it was. He basically wants a 24-hour thing for his money. He's really drunk and getting belligerent, and he's talking all this smack. So I got on the phone with her. I said, put him on the phone. Now, the guy sounded really drunk. He was out of it. And then he started to flex on me, and he started to tell me how his brother is an attorney general in Delaware, and he can get us this, and he can do this to us and get us in trouble and make one phone call. I said, okay, no problem. So you don't want to give her a donation so you can have a good time? And no, okay. So fine. So at the time when I was working in Las Vegas, I had security people in pretty much every single high-end casino that we had pretty much 90% of our jobs at. For example, I had people at the Palms with the Maloof brothers. I had people at the MGM, Bellagio, Venetian, Paris, Encore, Wynn, all the Mirage, Bally's, all the big casinos, because the majority of our jobs were in those casinos. So I always wanted to make sure that we have valet and we have security. valet-wise, so they can help the girls park their car up front so they can get in and get out, no problem. I told them to always make sure you tip them well. And we also had security just in case we had a situation, which I've only had very few, and this is one of them. So I made a call, and the guys went upstairs, knocked on the door. These are really big Samoan guys that worked. You know, they had a suit on, you know, security in the casino. And they talked to the guy, and then he gave the girl the money, and he tipped them well. And so everyone was happy. Now, I fast forward about a day, about 24 hours later, I get a email from this guy, you know, through the email, through the girl's email, of course. Nobody had my direct email address or direct phone number or anything like this. And he was apologizing and saying how much, you know, he really appreciates the service, and he hopes that we can still let him, you know, see some of our girls, and he didn't know what he was doing. He was really drunk, and he's really sorry. And I said, okay, no problem. And, you know, to be honest with you, I never wanted to book him again, and we never did. Because he already showed me part of his character. I couldn't really trust, even though it was the girl's fault for not giving him the money, but he shouldn't have used that against her. You know, she was already been really nice, and she would have given him, you know, 12, 15 hours, whatever it is, no problem, because she was getting good money, but that's not how you do it. We had another client, was a really heavy hitter from San Francisco. And this guy was a surgeon, and he had owned a lot of businesses. He had a lot of money, and this guy liked to be dominated. Now, I did not do a lot of fetish. I never liked fetish. They get really into weird territories that I don't want to deal with myself, and I don't want anybody around me dealing with it. So I just kept it GFE, girlfriend experience. And I think I explained that in the past what that means. If not, I can explain it some other time. So we kept it very basic. Well, this gentleman was such a good client, and we had him for so long. He was a client of Lisa Storm back when Lisa and I worked, and she was my girlfriend at the time, at the beginning of 2000s. So we kept him as a client. He was a really good client, and he always paid $5,000, sometimes more. But what he liked to do is he liked to get whipped. And I remember Lisa, when we worked together, this is really funny, I gotta share it with you. And Lisa did not want to do anything with this guy. He was really fat and gross and obese and whatever. And I remember him telling her to bring, you know, some equipment like a whip or whatever, you know, handcuffs and stuff. So I remember her bringing a keychain, had a little whip on it, and he got so mad he threw her out of the room at the time because he had paid her $5,000, and all she wanted to do was dance and stuff, and she didn't want to do anything. So it was kind of funny, but he was a really weird client. We had some clients that just wanted to be trampled on, kicked in the balls. I mean, just all sorts of weird stuff. But I didn't really entertain too many of them unless they've been a client for a long time and they paid good money. Like this, for example, this doctor I just told you about, he paid $5,000 for somebody to whip him. Like, come on. I used to tell the girls, you know what, let me go do it. I'll kick his ass if you want to give me a tip. I was just kidding. But so we had some of those guys, you know, but for the most part, we had really, really good clients. I cannot complain. We had a lot of the, and I won't mention any names. I don't like to kiss and tell. We had a few guys that had their own shows on the strip. And like I said, we had a few celebrities. I won't mention any names. I remember one celebrity that offered one of the girls $20,000 to do it without a condom. It was either 10 or 20,000. Either one of those. Forgive me if I forget the numbers, but it's been a while. And I always have strict rules about that. You do not have intercourse without a condom. It is not safe, and it will become a problem. Somebody's gonna get a medical issue, and it's gonna come back and bite us in the ass, whether it's the girl or the guy, whatever. So we don't do that. We always do safe. I don't care how much money they offer. It's not safe, we're not doing it. Safety is always number one. Before money. Money is number two. Safety is number one. So he offered her, and she called me. I said, no way, under no circumstances you will do that. I don't care for 100 grand, for $1 million, you don't do it. So I hope she remembers that, because we found out years later, this is a few years ago, that this particular actor had AIDS. So thank God she did not do it without a condom, because he was very promiscuous, very careless, took a lot of chances. It was very unsafe. Yeah, so for the most part, we have good clients. They're professionals, between 40 to 60, the majority of them, like 85, 90% of them, all come into Vegas for business, wanted to have fun, gamble, see a show, have some fine dining, restaurants experience, and then see a girl, and then have some fun, and nobody knows about it. No harm, no foul. Yeah, they're all married, but I already explained to you, guys gonna be guys, so it is what it is. Anyways, that's it for the clients in Las Vegas, and I hope to see you again soon. We'll be able to do another video tomorrow, hopefully, and I'll keep posting. Follow me if you'd like. Subscribe to my channel. It'll be on the ending of the video. And also, I have, if you follow Real Madam Suzanne on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, I'm on all platforms. And I'm still working. I'm just to give you an update, I'm meeting with a producer, hopefully next week, to discuss the possibility of a movie about Madam Suzanne. So I am working hard to make this a reality. It will be a movie, and it will be a series on Netflix. So keep an eye on that, and I will talk to you later. Stay safe, stay happy, and like always, just be good to yourself. Okay, bye-bye.